our extra technologies, and this is the first launch of our test satellite, which will eventually be used for relays on the Mun, Minmus, and beyond. So this is a 2-stage rocket with a solid rocket booster and a few fins at the bottom, which propels it to about 33,000 kilometers, and then it separates and uses a liquid fuel stage. We are now going the fastest we are in the atmosphere. Okay, and I am now dwindling the engine out. Okay, so the reason why I've got the fins on the upper stage is because, as you can see, it still goes in the atmosphere, and when they aren't there, the rocket flips, like it just flips out. This is our first launch for Turned Skywards, and this satellite has 2 solar panels, no engines. It's got an RCS system as well as a relay. These satellites will be in low planetary orbit or low Mun orbit or whatever. It won't be in a very high or eccentric orbit. There'll be one which will orbit the equator. Like, for example, for Kerbin, it will be orbiting about halfway distance from Kerbin to the Mun. And as we can see, we have released the payload. We are now deorbiting the launch stage. We have separated the satellite. Switching back to the satellite, and here we are. As you can see, it's a pretty simple and cheap satellite, but from the tests we have done, it is very, very successful and is very likely to be what we use for future missions. This will be sent over there when we eventually land a rover on the Mun, Minmus, Duna, and beyond. Okay, so this is our crewed vehicle. It's the same, pretty much the same vehicle as last time. I don't know why it spins like that, but it's basically the same vehicle as the last time, except a crew pod and a bit of a longer upper stage. I do not know why it rotates so much, but this was originally supposed to be orbital. I don't know what happened that caused it to not be able to, well, go into like a very, very large, like even go orbital. So I decided that these will be suborbital missions. This was originally going to be our first mission to orbit, but I realized it's much safer if we do a suborbital launch first, and hopefully next week we will launch our first mission to orbit. When we reach near the apogee, we are going to reignite our 4 upper stage engines and extend how long we are in the upper atmosphere, hopefully touching down, well, since I know this, since this is a pre-recorded flight, we do land on land. As you can see, we are making sure that doesn't go anywhere close to our landing site by deorbiting the stage much quicker. And our first EVA. This is a very short EVA, a very simple EVA, but it works out. Okay, we are now returning back to our capsule. Jebediah Kerman being one of the first Kerbals into orbit. Well, not into orbit, into space. Is now coming back down. Here we have our beautiful Firefly re-entry effects. Like, this was, in terms of graphic mods, this mod was just an absolute game changer. It changed like the way re-entry looks drastically. And now we detach our jettison our heat shields. I put drug chutes on this just so, because they're a lot smaller than the main parachutes, and I think they work a lot better for this use case. As you can just hear the heat shield crashing onto the ground, and this will get Jebediah Kerman safely to the ground very, very soon. Now, I've got to slow down time warp for this, so it's a bit choppy, and we will be planting the flag for Pino V1. So this is the Pino rocket series. We have the crewed and uncrewed variants, the crewed being suborbital. And okay, this is our second launch. We know a lot more, but unfortunately this flight did have its issues with when we did separate the two stages, and as you can see, it's spinning a lot more violently, causing the whole rocket to shake. When we did separate the two stages, they didn't separate properly immediately, so there was an issue with the staging, and the solid rocket boosters used to make sure that the upper stage does not come anywhere close to the landing site, fired early, causing issues. Luckily we haven't had anything like that happen, but yeah, it's just something to look out for. I am using MechJeb's guiding computer so I can get rid of the HUD to make the flights look a lot better, but yeah. Okay, reigniting to, as you can see here, you'll see the issue. The staging was incorrect, and yeah, we had to just quickly stage again. And we can see the upper stage slowly drifting away, and now we can't see it anymore. Valentina's now going on EVA, but forgot to put SAS on the capsule, causing it to spin. These are all things I am learning from, and we will eventually improve upon in flights to come. Okay, and she's back in the capsule. Has got back control. Okay, now we're ready for re-entry. Okay, so re-entry, because of the firing of the solid rocket boosters on the stage separation motors, we land a bit quicker than Jeb's flight, causing, well, this mission to be a lot shorter. You can see, oh, not anymore. You can see, oh, you can hear, that's big thunder. See, like, the massive difference between the two landing sites. We want to make sure they land in a similar area, just so rescue operations and collection missions are a lot easier. These 2 launches happened days between each other, so not even days, like maybe a couple hours between each other, and we are planning on eventually making these 2 rockets available for commercial flights once we develop them more, to make sure they're a lot safer. Valentina's just happy to be back on the ground after the difficult mission she just had, and she's planting the flag for Pino 2. Okay, thanks for watching, and we should be back with another video in the coming week.